If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me.
Said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the barrier, we outside. Help the barrier, we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. We still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding because we all came from hunger pain.
Where y'all at? Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, You Best Believe It. I ain't telling you no lies. NERDSoul movie reviews. It's going to be fun today. I got tons of people here. First, we ain't seen in a long time. But down below, all right, in the boot, all right, and also in the south of this Zoom meeting, all right, Keith of Blerdish, say what's up.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
He trying to keep it professional. He's like, what's up, everyone? Wonderful to meet you. All right, right over here, yo, my girl in a bag of pearls. And look, we got one more girl that we ain't see her in a minute, but we gonna see her in a minute too. But right now, Ninja Sama, what's up?
Guess who I am? Sup?
We here to talk about. We here to talk about.
Hey, I just got work.
Oh man, we here to talk about Batman.
Batman.
Talk about Batman. All right, so real quick, because I see we got a Patreon supporter in the chat right now. I want to give a shout out to the chat. Shouts out to Geeky Andre. Shout out to Brian. I do not want to mess up your last name. So Brian M, because I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, so I ain't gonna take no chance. Brian M, and of course Tyler Bennett. So, lately I've been like, it's been a while since I've given any of my Patreon supporters. Actually, I have some gifts for Patreon supporters that they didn't pick up for New Year's, but it's been a while since I've given a gift. So I was like, you know what? I got with the good people of Domination, bam, right here. And I was like, you know what? Y'all got a cool game about Blerds, and you know what? I should give one away. But you know what? One gift. This a card game isn't fun enough for my Patreon supporters. It's just like, you're giving gifts throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? Because gifts are to be given. All right, so I think
it better be good enough because I want me a copy of that game.
So I said, you know what? I also have a young brother named Keith of Blerdish. He runs a comic book store.
Who is that? When he come on the show, I'd like to meet him.
Oh, word. I figured, hey, why don't I play a game? One of the questions from Blerd Domination, the first Patreon supporter to answer this question in my messages, my DM messages to Patreon, just get on Patreon, send me a message to answer this question. You'll get the game, Blerd Domination, and a grab bag of some comics that Keith and myself choose from his library that he's selling right now. So you get to support Black people and support some more Black people with some comics. You know what I'm saying? I'll hook y'all up. I'll send it right out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I figured that'd be fun. So we go because this covers TV, movies, anime, all kinds of stuff. So this is one that I think is interesting. Now y'all can't answer. Y'all can't. You know what I'm saying? Ninja, you can't answer. Keith, y'all can't answer. Nah.
Okay.
So this is for my Patreon supporters. You got to go on Patreon and answer it. All right? You can't be answering it here. Because if you answer it here, you don't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got to go there. That's why I'm like, I know who about to win because he the only one in. So, in TV/movies, what was the name of this sci-fi sitcom that starred Flex Alexander and Daryl M. Bell? Was it A, Bros and Rockets, B, Space Rappers, C, Homeboys in
Lord.
Outer Space, or D, Space Froze? So go on, answer that
Anyone
question on
can be
Patreon.
right.
Huh?
They all closely related. They all could be right.
They can all be right.
They can all be right. The way
Especially the network it was on, they could have all been named exactly that. So with that said, shouts out to Blerd Domination. It's super fun game. I can't wait to get into it. Might schedule some game nights so we can all play and figure out a way to play and have some fun. But Patreon, go through, answer that question. I'll send you some stuff. Keith and I will get together for some comic books to give y'all, and we'll send it all together, and it'll be fun. And y'all can read, and y'all can play with your own family, and you know what I'm saying, have arguments over who's better at answering these questions. So, y'all came to see some talk about Batman. Batman. Y'all came in to talk about Bruce to the Wayne. Y'all came to talk about Jim Gordon.
oh, her face could not. Wow, what's that turned to the left? Was she turned to the left or the right for already? As soon as you mentioned Bruce Wayne, I was like, ah. Sorry.
I got a Twitch, man. Don't worry about it.
Got Twitch. Got Tick.
Yeah. So y'all came to talk about Catwoman. All right.
Well,
I'm gonna set it off. I'm gonna start with right down in the bottom square. You know what I'm saying? One half of the dynamic duo podcast of the South, Mr. Keith Cooper Blerdish. I want you to give me your general feelings. Your general feelings when you came out of the theater. How are you feeling about the Batman?
You know what? My homie Mark ain't here. He's supposed to be here. I don't know when he's popping up, but I'm gonna represent for Mark. Mark is
You can't say it for Mark. You got you.
What I'm saying is, this is one time we ain't sync, but I'm gonna say.
Word? Okay.
This made me feel that one of the few things in Batman lore, in DC lore, when I was a kid watching the animated series.
Okay.
That's how much I loved this. I enjoyed it. Strangely enough, for a 3-hour movie, I don't know if I was just hyped up on Red Bull or something. The 3 hours didn't feel like a drag to me. It never got to the point where it dragged too much. It was approaching it. But I don't have too many faults with it. I have one scene that's a fault. But honestly, I would never thought I would see something that I'd never seen with Batman, because I feel like he was getting too overdone. I don't. You know how I feel about the whole Snyderverse and back flick crap or whatever. Bat Affleck is not Batman to me. He was just holding it down, collecting a check. It was garbage. That was one of these DC was tripping. I don't know. I know there's a lot of DC fanboys out there or whatever, but as a person who has not been pleased with most DC stuff other than a few movies, I was really pleased with this. I just can't say it any other positive way. I think it was well directed. I liked the score. Yes, I said that on purpose for a reason. But yes, I did love the score.
Okay.
And I love everything. I love most everything about it.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, we got a brand new entry. The other 50% of the dynamic duo from the South. Mark Dub, say what's up.
Mark Dub, part man, part thug, using my heart for what hearts are made for. Look at that. You see that? That's the bat too. I got a rep for my people.
Your bat people?
Yes, folks.
People that hang upside down by the toes in the caves.
Even if it looks small, like he just drew it on. It is.
I did not just draw it on. Thank you, sir.
He got that in the pen. You know what I'm saying?
I paid way too much for that.
He got it in the pen. You know what I'm saying? He had to do push-ups for that. You know what I'm saying? But, all right, so before we get to Mark Dub, Ninja Samba. You watch the movie ends, you come out What are your thoughts? Oh, and before we go any further, you guys see it in the title, but just in case you didn't read the whole title, this is full spoilers. If you ain't seen it, get out of here.
Spoilers.
Or if you like, I don't care if I saw it or not, and then we can still watch it.
Spoilers.
We jumping fully off the cliff, spoiling everything, spoiling them right.
So, Ninja Sama.
No, seriously though, I am repping the bat to show solidarity.
And I do appreciate that.
Repping DC Bombshells, Batwoman here.
Yeah.
You know.
It's dope. It's dope.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was aight, and then sometimes it was not aight. And there are pros, there are cons. It was a movie. It happened.
Oh,
and
wow.
we'll get.
Okay.
Tough crowd. Jeez.
All right. Mark Dub, you watch the movie, you come out. How do you feel?
Well, you know, Coop and I did a video, and I was trying to contain myself. Everything that Ninja is saying is just like I'm befuddled. I'm perplexed. I'm bamboozled. I'm run amok.
Oh,
I ain't land on Plymouth Rock. Gotham City landed on me. Ninja, my dog. Et tu brute? Et tu ninja? Et tu?
The shirt, man. I told you, like I didn't say it was trash.
all right, now
Let me put my Obama voice on. Let me be clear.
and you have to point with your thumb. You gotta like.
It was okay. We'll get into the nitty gritty.
All right, so
Let's
I watched the
hash
movie.
it out. Let's talk it out.
Now, when the credits started rolling, I texted two people and was like, "Yo, are there post credits in this? Because I don't want to wait the whole time." Neither of them responded. Neither of them are on the screen. And I was like, y'all made me wait for that thing to say goodbye. But okay. In general, this is how I'm feeling. I thought it was well produced. I don't really have anything against the acting. And I was engaged during the whole film. Like, I wasn't like, drifting off, daydreaming about other stuff, or like, oh man, I'm tired of this or whatever. Like, I actually thought it was a decent, looking movie. And like I said about the trailer, it looks good. I think I'm tired of Batman. Like, that's what I think I'm tired. This is like, man, come on. Between animated series and movies, bruh, like DC, you got other characters, man. Like, you do. You got other characters. It's not that this wasn't well produced or it had a bad score. Like, functionally, this movie is good. I don't really have any huge, of course I'm a nitpicky because, it's for fun, but I don't have any huge glaring issues in this. But, man, I think I'm kind of tired. I think Batman needs to be put on ice. Now, I know DC stands for Detective Comics, and that's the whole, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I know, but it's okay. Okay. In general, I'll say this. I feel like the Riddler was a great choice. I think the Riddler has always been played for a joke, but in general, I think the Riddler in real life could be a dangerous person. And we see here, the only thing is, I think we've seen it before in a movie called Seven. And then we've seen it. So I'll say that first. Now, I'm going to throw this out to the crew. Let me ask y'all this so we can go and get into the movie. Because one thing this movie does well is give you an idea of the city of Gotham. My question to you guys is, would you live in Gotham? Because I feel like there'd be a mass exodus. Like, it rains every day. It's dark every day. Like, if you're not a mobster, you're a drug dealer or a killer, or like everybody's evil. All right, there's like barely
right now.
where are the regular people in Gotham? Like, you know, the school teacher, the car mechanic, the guy that works at, like, I don't know, the gas station, like just the regular people. All right, where's the person that works at the grocery store?
You know where they at? They get robbed. They're depressed. They ain't got no sunshine. It stank. You got mass vigilantes running around crazy. You got crooked police force, super crooked police, crooked everything. Even the nice
everybody dirty.
Everybody dirty. Look, the librarians probably punch you in the face when you go in there. Your book over.
I was like, wow, there are really a lot of people that the Riddler is hitting. He's upset with a lot of people, and everybody was in law enforcement. I was like, what did
they all deserved it. Well, they deserve, but they deserve to be taken down a peg. Now, how they got taken down? You know? I
mean, if they're ruining lives, why shouldn't their lives be ruined?
Batman, apparently not the deterrent.
They were taking money expressly provided for orphans, man.
It's about the children.
It's about
they had a very Michael Jordan-esque slant. F them kids.
Really was for the kids.
Look, I believe
Michael Jordan, another billionaire who doesn't give to the kids.
Mike was like, I don't know them kids like that.
So you're gonna take off your Thanos' right shirt, your Killmonger's right shirt, and put on your Riddler's right shirt? Is that what that means?
I
mean, if you want to break it down to smaller situations,
let's keep it real. Without getting too meta, over the last year, over the last say 4 or so years, we've seen numerous judges that if they died right now, I ain't losing a week of sleep, I ain't crying one tear. Cops that if they got killed right now, they head got blowed up or whatever, I would not drop one tear. I would not cry. DA would not drop one tear, would not cry. The reason this movie works is because the system has been innately corrupt at its core since its inception. So people watch this and they're like, yeah, I can get behind the Riddler. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with this. Because they all dirty. And I don't mind you being dirty. My issue is y'all are dirty, and then I steal a Tic Tac, and y'all treat me like I'm Jeffrey Dahmer. Meanwhile, y'all stealing billions of dollars from orphaned kids.
Y'all stealing from the orphans, yo.
I mean, I know we get into it. I'll just say this. I ain't saying Riddler was right. I'm saying I get his motivation.
Cause he like, yo, Batman, you and me the same, son.
I get the idea. Yeah, I get the idea. It's this parallel on the whole vengeance thing, you know. But the key is
he said he was vengeance.
And Bruce and even Selena and her vengeance and all that for her homegirl, yada yada. Vengeance. So I get that. But at the same time, everything's so amplified, you can't necessarily justify some of the means, especially towards the end, you know. We up here at the convention center, popping folks, Noah's Ark and whatnot.
Yeah, because he was just killing regular citizens then. Like, man, it was like, it's like, yo, this dude works at the shoe store, man. He did nothing to you. Like, he did, like this person has no power. Like, now, what is it? Black and Critical comes through and says, I need to see this movie again because I fell asleep. So did a person that was behind me. Oh, and this dude was straight sleep. He was sleeping good. All I heard was breathing mad heavy. All right. All up behind my head. I was like, is he all right? Like, then I was like, oh no, he's asleep.
So to answer your question, yes, he was all right. He was being well rested. You know,
he was a heavenly peace.
And that is a complaint. If I've heard a complaint from sensible folk who actually thought it was a masterpiece. That was a shot at my dear friend. But yo, like it was long. It was definitely long.
It was long.
I will.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say masterpiece.
I don't want a Snyder cut of this one. I don't want.
No.
I don't want.
I don't know if they're watching. I don't know if they're watching, but someone literally equated to an Alfred Hitchcock movie. on Facebook to me. I mean, there's people that are really, really, really all in, which is fine. I mean, if you, good for you, bro, sis. If that's what you got out of it.
Arkham Sandwich said masterpiece. Nah. Now, do I think I do think it's I think it's good. I think it's solid.
Of course, this is a masterpiece to me.
But I have a Naruto tattoo, but you don't see me saying watch the filler. Like I mean, objectively.
Yeah, but what
I don't say watch the filler either. I say watch this masterpiece.
But I mean,
I am extremely biased. So
that's where I'm getting at. That's where I'm getting at, which is fine though. It's totally okay.
Did you say Naruto? I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You gotta pay extra for that.
I'm
now, oh, I ain't even going. We this is not. Look, this is a family show.
For that, I don't know. But anyway, which character though? But anyway, I'm joking.
So I will say this. The Arkham Sandwich said, you're going to compare this to the Sistine Chapel, to the Statue of David. Then also, 949 came through. Says, people thought the detective thing was cool. There are only 2 suspects. Who the heck cared about the mystery? Now,
can I just be honest? I'm gonna be a little. I ain't gonna be rude to your guest, Mike. I don't want to hit that from there right now. Let's get to the story. Let's get to the plot. Let's get
into the plot. So, all right, boom. Here's the plot. I mean, even though we already watched this, all of us have seen this. Hopefully, if you haven't seen it, too bad. All right, plot is, Batman's in year number 2. You know, so he's just getting under his wing. He about to do the sophomore game of the All-Star weekend. All right, you know what I'm saying? He's minding his business, jotting down his notes. He like, Captain's log. You know, I beat up some dudes that it's really not going to change anything in the course of this city because they have no power. Oh, excuse me, my bad. Sorry, that was in my head. My bad. So, because the Riddler is actually taking out people that wield power and actually can affect this. Oh, sorry. No, he's like, tonight I went out. I was the dark. I was evil. So he's doing his thing. People getting killed. We don't know who it is. And that person leaving notes. All right. Notes with riddles on them. All right. So we got to figure out. And during trying to figure out, we meet a young lady. All right. Apparently she got some skills too. All right. She got some karate. All right. And she looking for who done disappeared her friend. So they got to go off and find out not only who disappeared her friend, but who is this dude that's killing everybody around the city? All right. With a young Jim Gordon. All right. He ain't commissioner yet. All right. He just I don't know, Sergeant Gordon. I don't know. Captain Gordon. I don't know.
Jim. And Jim stay with the pistol.
Yo, he's staying with that little. Look, all right. Now I will say this.
Jim had a thick mustache like Drake's dad. Jim looked like Drake's dad.
Yo, I can't. Yo, no lie. I don't know what it is about them old school Action Jackson mustaches where it's like literally like just a rectangle over your lip. It's just a rectangle of hair
a black
over your lip.
Block. Right over the flat piece, the flat Lego piece in black.
Oh, Arkham Sandwich said he was lieutenant. So apologies. I know there's some people out there, you know, military people like you call him Wright. He was a lieutenant. But you right. He kept the blicky on him though. He ain't stopped.
Every second he got a chance to. He's like, hold on.
I kept waiting for him to say, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Me too.
He looked like he was a day from retirement in some of them shots. I don't know. Young maybe, but not so much. Gotham stressful. He looked like he was out.
Yeah, he did seem a little old for it. Antoine Allen said Jim kept the hammer on him. He said, you were the one with that no gun code, not me. That's right. They walked up in there. He was like, no guns. He said, no. Speak for yourself, player. Speak for yourself. You got full body armor on. I got a coat. All right? Stop it. All right?
A coat.
Hey, Jim say, I'm a carpenter in my part-time because I keep that hammer on me.
Yo.
Man.
We ain't see him fill out no incident report or nothing. He was just letting bullets. I mean, everywhere.
Hey, man.
Yo, and you know he's smooth because we never saw him reload and he had a revolver. So you know.
Now, Mike, you know, an action movie rule is a cop get a revolver with unlimited bullets. Come on now. That's standard.
How many bullets you fire?
All of
them. It don't matter which ones hit.
Yep. Good point. Which drives me to the point of this being PG-13. The way this movie is positioned, I think being PG-13 kind of pulled some of the edge off of it. Because clearly Matt Reeves wanted to go deeper in this. Because one thing I will say about this movie it has a feeling of urgency and intensity to it. Like with the music, with how dark it is, how the dude is essentially like Darth Vader and RoboCop put into one. And like they definitely put out this thing where like he's like the Terminator coming out of the darkness on you. Like, so it feels like they had to pull punches on some of them joints because I was like, this could be art.
If they would have shown the blood of what Riddler did to the mayor in the first murder, that would have been an R rating right there. Because he bludgeoned the hell out of him.
Yeah, there should have been blood all over the floor. Like, there should have been blood everywhere. But of course, to keep that PG-13,
WB got to get a victory after the Matrix and all the other failures. But
yeah. Well, let's be honest. Come on, man. It's Batman. There's two names, Spider-Man and Batman. If you just put them on the movie, they're about to make some money. Now, to varying degrees, of course, but they're gonna make some money. But
when they're done as well, they should.
Yeah.
I want to throw it to Ninja real quick. Ninja, since you had some problems with the movie, what were your problems, if any, with the Riddler?
I like the choice for the Riddler, and I like the actor who played Riddler. I feel like he was masked for too long because his whole thing is like he's just a normal looking guy. Dun, dun, dun. So why the dun, dun, dun? Mainly because when there are the few moments where he does interact with Batman, sometimes his voice is just a little too gargled. The mask is a little bit too obscure. They could have did a shot where it's like back of his
he was
head.
He was giving you the Bane voice. Just the nerdy version.
Yeah, it's just So like, I feel like there was no big reveal there, so they could have. We didn't necessarily need to see the guy's face, right? But there could have been certain ways that they did it, so we weren't necessarily hearing through what felt like kind of a filter for a good part of the movie, personally. But the Riddler itself, I don't mind the selection for him. I don't mind the actor choice because once, like in the final act where he's out and he's doing his thing and he's turning his head and all that stuff and singing Ave Maria like we haven't heard it for 50 times already in the movie. That was cool. I was into it.
Well, to me, I'll give him this. The reason I think he sang it like that is because, of course, at an orphanage, he was probably tired of hearing the song. And, I guess that was his way of being like, and they did drop the hush note in there. They made sure to do that, but because even at the end he was like Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne, Bruce. Like he was like just so you know. It's just all right. So I like all right. So people,
is this mother? Has this mother figured this? Has he figured this out?
Yo,
Wayne gonna have to choke him.
When he went back to when he was like, it goes back to my father, or it goes back to the revolution, or the I don't know whatever they called it, the remuneration, whatever it was. I was like, you gonna find out your daddy dirty. I was like, you gonna find that out. I was like, I know we about to find out. You gonna find out. Now I do like the Arkham family and the Wayne family. I like that. That was cool. I like how they threw that in there. You know what I'm saying? I like finding out his dad dirty, but here's my thing about the Riddler. I like the Riddler. I like this movie in general, but villains, and this is all villains be having the most like ingenuity. They be having like, I don't know, all kinds of like, where do they get the money to pay all these people? Like they got mad scheduling. Like, bruh, they got all these people to dress up in the same. How you get the same mask for everybody, the same size? Everybody head ain't the same size. Get all like when you just start thinking, like, yo, villains be having like the most, I don't know, planning skills. Does he have a?
You didn't see they organized on Twitch. It was
They have.
I forgot he was on Twitch.
They went to the Army surplus store down the block.
They have
the best
human resources. They outsource the best human resources people. You know, they take measurements. They have meetings. Great plans. I mean, man, like, come on.
Hey,
just like Scarecrow and Titans.
Zoom meetings.
Look, he doing Zoom meetings on the dark web.
You see how
the guy was like, "Hey, I'm good on rifles." Another was like, "I've got the masks."
Rifles are good too.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, I got rifles."
Hey, we could do this right now. I'm just saying, we got the chat, we got the cameras.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I wear a size 7.5 shoe. Get me some combat boots. I'll meet y'all down.
Because Ninja and I were talking about this with the last season of Titans. I was like, yo, how did Scarecrow get like the whole internet though? Like, how did he get like? Hold up, how did he get like all the internet and all the TV? Like, where did they go? Like, who are they talking to get all this?
Doing? What single frequency are they just tapping in that just hits all TV simultaneously?
Yeah. Like, you got a button for all TVs, broadcast to every single TV ever, no matter what you watch.
The all TV button.
I'm just waiting for the villain that takes over everybody's Roku's and Netflix, because that's gonna be the reasoning for it. It's gonna be all streaming. They're already on their way to Twitch. But not.
Now, also, what happened in this movie? How people were getting rolled on by your boy Riddler? I'm gonna keep it real. People be looking at me strange, especially at night when I'm coming out of the grocery store or whatever, coming to my car and I keep my head on a swivel. People be looking at me strange. That's why. You ain't gonna be catching me slipping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I sit down in my seat, no, because I done already looked in the back seat. All right, I don't pee that.
Hey,
like, what you doing?
Riddler,
what you doing in my car?
You're the dude from Get Out.
When you come into your car and you done took all the drugs, you done had all the sex, all the best drinks.
Good point.
You know, you might not be in the clearest of mind.
True.
But are you stressed out? And you like, you know what? I'm just get my car.
They thought they were untouchable. I'll give them that, because they had already pulled off the biggest heist in probably the city's history. They were in good with pretty much everybody that was running stuff at that point in time.
And let's face
they probably were a little confident, cocky. Yeah, like how young was Bruce when this all went down? They had been on top for years. So yeah, they were probably slacking.
True. Because also, anyone who cared enough. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They had to let you in the club. You couldn't just go in the club. So, you know, it was an armored fortress. You know, with some crazy looking twins at the door. Got their ass.
Yeah, because it was the club within a club, and so you're right. They had been rolling and controlling in CB4 for years. All right.
Yeah.
And so I understand. I get with them being like, look, even when they were like, oh, this was a criminal bust. I was like, this was a hostile takeover. I was like, you can clearly see if this was supposed to be the biggest bust of forever, and the city still looks like this. Nah, that wasn't a drug bust.
It got worse.
This was a hostile takeover.
Y'all know on local news where they set out like the table of their drug bust, and it's like a dime bag and like $20 bills, like to make 100. Yeah, and it's like a one bong, and they're like
2 guns.
We did it. Yeah.
Drug bust. That energy.
Like, I remember when I was so I was a kid. I'm like in middle school, and this cop comes, talks to us in the auditorium. They probably did it at your school where a cop comes like, hey, cops are all right, and this is what we do. So anyway, he said, when we get drugs, we stop drug dealers and we take the drugs. And I was like, I was like, so what y'all do with all the drugs y'all take? And he said, we burn them. I said, right. And like everybody started laughing. I was like, yo, if he could have killed me in that moment, I think he probably would have. But I'm in an auditorium full of kids and everybody's laughing. So, but I was like, so y'all burn them. So all these drugs just disappear.
They don't burn a damn thing. All that stuff is stored.
Inventory.
They don't burn anything. It's all inventory. Yes, it is.
Evidence, man. Evidence.
Yes.
Inventory of evidence.
Evidence. And you best believe them cops going in there and taking them drugs and selling them or whatever. Yes. And I know because I absolutely work for the police department.
We store them.
Yeah. They burned them. Okay.
We catalog them and we price them.
They burning it all right.
So let's go on and talk about a character. Let's go on and talk about a character that some white people were mad about. Catwoman. She's about as
they could be mad. They could die mad about it.
So Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz, Denise's daughter, is Catwoman. So she comes in the movie. In my opinion, she did pretty well. She didn't seem out of place. I liked her character arc. I like how she kind of like how she dealt with her version of vengeance. I wasn't mad about it. I got my thing though with this. We can get into Catwoman, but they did another movie thing that I can't stand. The lazy security guard. Here we go. So we in a house, right? We try to steal something now to get the passport back, right? Now you hear mad fumbling and bumbling all up in that room. Punch, kick, and then it's like, and then the dude, look, I got family members that look for stuff like this. You be like, yo, my man, can you go look for this? And they be like this. They be like, it ain't in here. That's not how you look.
Mike, can I present
that man came in with it. He was like,
Can I present a quick side of this? Because I know that's like a pet peeve of yours. But we just said that this is Gotham. Your ass don't need to look for stuff you don't need to find.
You know what? I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough to find what's in here.
Run around, one is beat the hell out of people. The other one is flat out killing people. Oh, all right, y'all in there?
Yeah, that was that big don't ask, don't look for it, don't tell energy. Like I ain't trying to see it.
Bold of you to assume that these guys are properly trained, given how things actually are in real life. Bold of you to assume that they would do the right thing.
They probably just gave a plastic badge to Greg and told him to you on duty.
Volunteer cop mug.
Like, come on, look at that cop. Look at that dude. Do he look like he was gonna beat? Man, he was like, look, man, I'm just trying.
You can always tell the security guards. You can always tell the security guards that like real serious. They're the ones they wear the gloves without the fingers, with the fingers cut off. They have buzz haircuts. Their uniforms be pressed and be sharp.
Yo, they love the job too much.
Ain't nobody scared of you. You better radio in.
They love the job too much.
I'm just shocked. That was Falcone's place, right? Or that was one of his places.
That was the mayor's spot.
I mean,
or I guess the current mayor.
Okay, well, the mayor was tripping with that security. I guess he was trying to pretend he was on the up and up, because if that was, you ain't gonna bust up in one of the mobsters' places with rent-a-cop, going on.
He beating up party girls at the club and taking them home. You know what I'm saying? Like, homie put mad people's business on blast. I gotta give the Riddler some love for real. Like he put mad people. He TMZ'd everybody in these streets.
Kill you and then put you up for public trial, and you can't refute it.
Because what he did was he kills the person, and before you get a chance to cry for him, he'd be like, no, don't cry for them.
They tried.
Look at what they did. So back to Catwoman. Give her props. Catwoman comes through. Her friend says, "Look, this has happened to me. I'm trying to get out, but I don't got my passport." She don't pass go. She don't collect $200. She goes, throws on the cat suit and goes out there. That's the kind of friend we need. The friend that said, where is it at? I got you. I'll be right back. She ain't be like, hold up, let me get it tomorrow. You know how you got some friends, they be like, oh yeah, I got you. And you be like, dude, it's a week later. Like, you got me or you got me? What's up? Like, no, she immediately puts on the cool clothes, all right, the mask and everything, hits the streets, all right? I got to give it to her. You know, props. And
thank you for being a friend.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Scratch your rules up, Batman.
A crusader.
And she gave Batman all the work someone who weighs 70 pounds could give him. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm sorry, she just looked so small. I don't know how much she really weighed, but she looked little. So it was like she gave him all the work she could though, because she was like cat. And then but Batman was like, all right, stop playing.
I heard that Pattinson was like refusing to like really work out and like get in shape. Yeah, you know, they showed him. He looked like he ride a bike every day. You know, he looked like he does a lot of cardio. But I think Robert Pattinson heard me talking shit about how frail and fragile he looked, and he chose violence. And I was like, this is an unusually violent Batman. And he's he hit a dude, he knocked him out twice. He was like, yeah. I was like, damn.
He's working.
Let me roll it back because we hot skipped and jumped and did not collect 200. We just kept going. So, Catwoman. I feel like I should speak to Catwoman as a woman. Surprise. I actually thought that she was one of the saving graces of the film. I don't know. I saw earlier someone thought I was going to talk smack about Zoe. I thought she did great. I thought she was a good hybrid of like a tiny bit of Eartha, but a little bit of homage to the animated series there. She had a little that je ne sais quoi that's in the animated versions and all that. I thought she did very good. I thought her chemistry with Robert Pattinson was good. And I thought that she was, I don't dare I say only like real character progression and development within the movie. You know, she with her homegirl, she's doing this. She had her like, insightful like speech about privilege and all of that stuff, and then she decided not to kill because she was inspired by the bat. But then at the same time was like, Gotham is crap, I'm out. Like, I thought that was one of the more interesting components throughout the film.
Yep.
You know what?
I do like her character arc for it.
She did have a good character arc, and she was smart. She was like, this place is messed up, I'm out. She's like, what is there for me? She's like, let's go back on some rich people who deserve to get knocked out.
Homegirl said, I'm going to Bloodhaven. I'm like, boo.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know. Have you gotten a postcard from there?
It's worse.
Yeah, but you know
that's where Nightwing is.
I mean, okay,
it's bad day too.
Bloodhaven sucks, but like the sun don't even shine in Gotham when it is shining. Like, why?
Because
Gotham always so dark? Gotham is like London.
I visually the darkness, and I'm not going to compare it to Snyder or anything like that, but it took me out at how dark it was sometimes, because sometimes it didn't feel intentional. Like, let's just be honest.
Was like, bruh, like where is this? This is the darkest city ever.
Judge Dredd and Godzilla, one of those Godzilla movies are the darkest movies I've ever seen. They're just so full of damn smut and dust.
You
can't see the movie. And that movie gave me that.
Soot.
I think it's soot.
I mean, there's smut. There's definitely smut.
It might be smut, man.
There's some smut. Thank you. Arkham Sandwich says a place called Bloodhaven doesn't sound any better than Gotham. Thank you. It's a haven.
That wasn't the right Godzilla movie, apparently. I was watching the wrong one. The city's littered with smut.
Stop calling it smut, man.
In a song. What is wrong? It's the wrong Godzilla movie.
It's smut. But I did like. That's another thing that really. It showed kind of one thing that I will give a plus to this movie. is that it did show them kind of at their starts. Like Catwoman is not like the Catwoman. She like, yo, I got my, I steal, you know what I'm saying? I steal, I don't kill, you know what I'm saying? I do my thing. But like, I'm kind of new to this. Because when he was like, all right, look, I need you to go in the club. She was like, why do I feel like a fish on a hook? He was like, because you is.
One thing this is one thing I do like about this Catwoman. That she, she got her points across real quick. I love when she checked and she like, your ass must have came from money. So look at you. And she like, oh, yeah, you don't know nothing. She's like, you don't deal with regular people like me. And I love when she stole that bag of money. She was saying, yoink. I was like, yeah. She like, give me that damn bag of money.
I ain't no trust fund, baby. I'm getting this money.
Yeah.
Like,
and shouts to Silhouette Animator for the super chat. Thank you. Speaking of that, you know what I'm saying? Let me go in and stop the show real quick. Much love to Silhouette Animator, who said, according to WB, this is set on Earth 2, same as Stargirl, apparently. And if you're looking for a way to support, it's offering time. Praise the Lord. It's offering time. Praise the Lord. If you can find it in your heart to maybe do a super chat, a cash app at NERDSoul, or support the Patreon, feel free. But if you cannot, if you have not a dime to your name, if you're eating bologna and cheese, or plain bread, king loaf, then you can still share this screen to all your friends. Just take a screenshot and share it to your friends. Take a video, share it to your friends. Take an Instagram photo, a post, anything. Share it
Touch
to
a
your
neighbor
friends.
and say, share this post, neighbor.
Touch your neighbor on that side.
Stop playing before they do this in churches for real.
and touch your neighbor on that side. And tell them about NERDSoul. Now, if the lady in front of you gets up to clap for the song, and you know where your eye level is at, and you know if she has a certain body type, then you need to stand up as well, because you're wrong for sitting down. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying, if she stand up, you got to stand up too, because you can't.
Speaking of which, shout to my old church in New Orleans when I used to live there. That's all I'm gonna say.
But with that said, the support is definitely appreciated. Thank you. Now, Stargirl, that is interesting because I haven't watched Stargirl, so I don't know how gritty or ungritty it is. But I know
I don't care about no Stargirl.
Gotham is the type of city where, bruh, just move out. Don't worry about your last month rent. Just look, fine. Charge me. I'm gone. I can't live here no more. Like I can't, just leave. Don't worry about where you're gonna be. Just go back. Just move back to your mama house. You don't need to be in Gotham. Bro. It's just random people just beating up. And then my dude in the train. He saw them hoods. He saw them. He gonna get out the train. First thing, I ain't getting out till y'all get off. Where y'all going? I'm riding to the end of the line. I ain't turning my back on y'all.
I guess since we're critiquing things and when you in the moment, but yeah, I can have a sense of humor about it. First of all, when you get off that train, homeboy, you gotta move a lot faster. First of all, what are you doing in this pitch dark ass city? Just dumping fooling around.
Lights.
Like you need to move, bro. Like you need to have a concerned place to go. Like you in your little members only jacket or something, with your little bad haircut, and it's like a whole gang of them on the other side of the train looking at you.
I have a question regarding to that. Y'all referring to the first scene, right? Yeah. So I'm just curious. It's pseudo related to the super chat earlier, but I just been racking my brain, and I'm sure it's not a coincidence, but it also feels like a coincidence. Why is Tim Drake from the Titans in the first scene of the movie as a recruit for Joker's gang?
Thank you.
Can someone, what's happening?
The actor got a job.
Really but that makes no sense. The role is not big enough. That could have been me, man. That could have been anybody. All he did was look scared.
They put
that
Tim Drake.
That was on purpose.
But
it's still not related. It's on purpose, but not related.
Because we were all like, "Yo, ain't that your boy Tim Drake?"
They were throwing it. They threw it out there, maybe just in case down the line, but kind of Matt Reeves is like, don't.
But it makes no
They
sense.
they really just messing with you, to be honest with you. Matt Reeves is tooling around. He's messing around with you.
We already have a convoluted universe, right? We're trying to piece together which Earth is what's going on. We got Ben Affleck out the picture. We don't know what's going on. The last thing we
Ben Affleck gone. We don't know if the Superman gonna be the same.
Bruce Wayne appear in another movie. Like,
don't worry about
he was in the Titans.
Don't worry about that stuff. Just worry about this is another Batman universe. That's all you gonna get.
ZSB Lou says,
like it.
ZSB Lou says, kid just booked 2 roles, ain't nothing else to it. But the thing is, WB should have stepped in. This is why y'all be losing. All right? DC should have stepped in and been like, bruh, I'm sorry, look, you great, but you can't be in this. Why I can't be in this, man? Well, you can't be in this because you're in Titans, crazy. All right? People gonna be tweeting us, asking us questions. They're gonna be at the junket, asking why you in it. No, you can't be this. Now, do you have a brother? We'll give it to them.
This isn't Ryan Reynolds and
Blerdish gonna be on
or
NERDSoul.
Killmonger in 2 different things. I mean, Michael B. Jordan. It's not. It's like, I know it's minor. I'm just saying it's like little things like that make you agitated at the first thing in the movie. It's just like, then you're thinking, it's like, well, what is what?
Yep.
What's the
Can I be honest?
What's not? What's happening? I don't know.
There's a guy here who don't watch Titans or care about it. I was like, okay, that brother's just getting a role.
Okay.
Mark has scared me away from Titans.
it's not great. It's not great.
I'm cool. Like, I love season 2. Season 2 was it for me. After that,
Mark told me
season 2 kind of came through a little bit.
I said I'm good.
Like season 2, there was some nuances in season 2. Some things they did, I was very impressed with, and then season 3, I was like at a point, it was I felt like I was abusing myself watching it. Like, why are you doing this?
So
this doesn't make you happy.
I'll kick this off.
The most efficient use of back characters.
We gotta jump into Bruce. We gotta jump into Bruce Wayne, man. We gotta jump into Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne on Titans is excellent.
I loved how little
and that's why, before we even get to it, my MVP of this movie is Catwoman. But yes, let's go in and get into Bruce. This movie does a great job. And I said this like way back when I was in school, just talking about superheroes, me and my friends in school, you be in like the lunchroom talking about Batman seems cool. If you were a superhero in this world, Batman would be whack. You would not want to kick it with him. Like, because dude has a one-track Terminator RoboCop mind. Like, dude, so he has no, like, it does a good job at showing how crazy this really makes you. And how, like, because dude just does crazy dead stares. And it does a good job of being like, yeah, you could easily be in Arkham, bro. Like, you just happen to beat up bad guys. Like, because you're crazy.
One of the first things me and Mark said when we got in the theater, this Bruce Wayne, Batman hates Bruce Wayne. If he can never be put on the mask of Bruce Wayne in this movie, he'll be so happy.
Bruce Wayne is a husk. Bruce Wayne is a means to an end for this Batman. He is a suit.
Come on, Ninja. What you got?
He's agitated with it, but I don't care. He's a
I hear everybody saying that, and Mark Dub and Keith are not the first to express this, and I understand the idea of it. I understand that the young Batman, the tragedy, and blah blah blah. I get all that. It makes sense. However, the way that they deliver, it's not really Robert Pattinson's issue, I don't think. It's the way that they portrayed it. There was still no nuances or depth that I even cared about. But I'm like, put the suit on. Because when you put the suit on, I'm like, all right, I'm chilling, I'm vibing.
But that's
but it makes it not interesting. It makes every time Bruce Wayne is on screen not interesting because he's a husk, he's bummed, and just...
That's why you only get so little of him.
Right.
we don't get as little as you think. We don't. It's a 3-hour-long movie. We don't get as little of him as you think. That's some of
he's a poor Bruce Wayne.
But do the hair again. Do the hair
it's
again.
Because Bruce Wayne is a poor character in this. Bruce Wayne is a suit in this movie.
He's garbage.
Yo, it does a good job.
I mean, he has great mascara. His mascara is on point.
But that also shows why Batman as a character, I think they did a great job in this movie of showing that Batman as a character is not that cool. I mean, he's cool to look at. He's cool to see Greg Capullo draw him. He's cool to see Jim Lee draw him. But to like be around him, no, he's crazy and he's weird.
He's an insane person.
And let me say this for anyone. Okay, so this is the thing that messed me up about Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. You got this man that has dedicated his life to honoring your father's wishes and protecting and raising you as best as he could. And the first thing when you get your little grown man tizzy, you want to say he ain't your daddy. Now, don't get me wrong. I know he's not your biological father.
He your daddy.
But he could have raised this place to the ground and left, but he didn't. He stayed and took care of you. Now, I know a lot of people could be like, oh, well, you know the money. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he had to
he
take
could have
care
messed over
of
the
you.
money.
He could have just used the money to make sure you had clothing and stuff, but he actually cared for you. He loved you. He gave you those fatherly jewels that your father couldn't give because he was dead, because he loved not only his father, but you. And you had the nerve to come out your mouth talking about he ain't your daddy? You should be ashamed of yourself.
He didn't sell Thomas and Martha Wayne secrets for all the stuff they covered up. He could have been paid out here. But no, he was a good employee / surrogate family member.
Then he said, even the small things like you need cufflinks, because of course, like you said, he doesn't care about being Bruce Wayne. He's like, look, you need cufflinks. And he said, you have this, you're a Wayne, you need cufflinks. He gives them to him. He said, your father gave these to me. And now he's giving them to you. This boy, look, for someone sitting around talking about I lost so much, you ain't even realized what you gained. You gained a second chance at fatherly advice, fatherly instruction, discipline, love, integrity. You missed all that. Because you simple, boy. Because you're simple. You simple. You still ain't learned nothing, Bruce. You're simple.
Get on his ass.
Well, he's still a spoiled child, And
that was how I felt in the movie. I was like, I don't rock with this. I don't like angsty, rebellious Bruce.
But I like that it's in there because you can see how messed up he is. I like that it's in the character because he has to.
But the messed up just isn't felt. It's just not.
It comes off weird. Like, yo, Bruce Wayne is a rich, weird guy.
He's a man who dresses up as a bat and fight Kravitz.
But we don't know that. Like, say we don't know that technically. As citizens of Gotham, we don't know. He's just a rich guy that stares at people too long. He's like,
well, us as the audience know. But yes, he do stare at them children too long. He was staring at little boy too long, like why? Yeah. Say something.
Now, when you flip it, when he's in the suit, it works. When he was in that room full of cops and they was trying to take him down, and he had that look at Jim like, I'll kill all y'all in here. Now that was dope. But you can't do that when you're a regular person, man.
He's always in the suit. He is the suit.
Bruce, they did it, even if unintentionally, they did a great job of showing why Bruce in real life is whack. Like, and Batman is whack. Like, to hang with, like, if we were all superheroes, we'd want to hang with like Spider-Man, The Flash. Nobody would want to kick it with Batman. He's weird. He stares at people too long. He's way too quiet. Okay. He sneaks up on you for no reason. It's like, dude, I'm in the break room getting coffee. What are you doing? Just say hey. Just like, what are you doing?
I mean, that movie where it was Justice League Doom, he had cases on all of them. Do you really want to hang with Batman?
I got cases on all you.
He's like, I know how to take down all of y'all. Like,
Tyler Bennett said, "Sounds like y'all making fun of the mentally challenged." That is not true. We're making fun of Bruce Wayne.
Your weakness was again?
No. First of all, nobody's making fun of anybody who's mentally challenged, whatever. I mean, Bruce has his problems. I mean, he has issues. So there's different levels to this, whatever. Bruce is still a functioning adult. He might be gone here, but he can function. And he does eventually learn how to function and to use the mask of Bruce Wayne. Like, yes, Bruce Wayne is gone, but he knows he's going to have to use Bruce Wayne as he did to get into that club that had talked with Falcone.
I agree, Keith. You do not see that in this movie. And you don't see the beginnings of it, really. You maybe they'll get more into it the next movie, but it's so disjointed and they're not allowing for us to really swim within the nuances and depths that is of the off-kilter Bruce Wayne. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a one-note portrayal because he's like also, quote, husk or whatever, but as a viewer, that's not terribly interesting because we're not getting anything from it and we're not getting any progression from it as the movie goes along.
I guess
personally, but you're right. That's how Bruce Wayne and
Batman works. A very violent Batman in exchange for a non-existent Bruce, and I'm okay with that.
And the reason
why for a 3-hour-long movie, I'm not okay.
Because we got Steven Seagal as Batman, and that was awesome for me. He broke a man's arm off and then beat him to death with it. I love it.
I don't really give a damn about Bruce Wayne anyway, so I'm here for like the actual doing of the job. So Bruce Wayne's he's just whatever. He's just like a means ends to the means of end. Whatever you want to put it. He's just there.
I get you, but on Ninja's part, if we're gonna set this in so much reality, then we also have to accept the part of Bruce Wayne too. Which brings me to, because we've been spitting game for a minute, but there's one more person that's a large part in this. Oh, go ahead.
I really expected Pattinson to be like a good Bruce Wayne. Like of all people to not be like a good Bruce Wayne, I thought he would have probably been like one of the best Bruce Waynes. And he was a real vacant Bruce Wayne. He wasn't there.
I think you know what they say, in basketball, if you can't shoot the three, take a 15-footer. I think he used all of his skills and what he could do to make that work to the fullest. He was Rip Hamilton out there. Like,
I think this was more Matt Reeves' choice.
Boy.
I agree. Shouts to Keith and Jones. Keith and Jones comes through, says, however, at the end of the movie, he saw that it was bigger because it was a bigger cause beyond revenge. He didn't really care for the guy in the subway he saved at the start. Nah, he looked at that dude like he was weak. Like he looked at that dude. And I mean, honestly, like I'm not here because I know they're gonna be like, y'all victim blaming the man in the subway. Look, I've been to New York many times. New York, you like it, you might not like it, whatever it is, but you'll notice that people in New York move very fast. They walk very fast. They're on a mission. Why? Because New York City is crazy. And Gotham is supposed to be sort of like a pastiche of New York. So New York City is crazy. Like about a week or so ago, they found a woman's torso in a trash bag. And then some other dude was like hacked up. Like New York is crazy. On top of having rats that's just like stealing pizzas and stuff. Like New York is just crazy. So
the shower and rat.
So like you need to come out that train like moving. All right. You need to come out that train moving. All right. Especially if you know you work the night shift. If you know you work the night shift, and and in New York, or in Gotham, there's certain trains like, this train is a little gully out here. Like, maybe I need to take a cab. Maybe I need an Uber. Like people know, like you can go to New York right now and be like, what train should I not take after like 9 p.m.? And they'll be like, oh, don't take this, and don't take this. So, bro, if you live there, come on, man. But that aside, you know what I'm saying? DeAndre Mosley says, Ben Affleck is a better Bruce Wayne than Batman, and Robert Pattinson is a better Batman than Bruce Wayne.
I agree.
I will say Robert Pattinson's face looks better in the helmet, the cowl or whatever.
It's more realistic. moralistic.
But Bruce Wayne wise, Ben Affleck does actually pull off someone who's at least trying to pretend that they're not a Cape Crusader. let me pretend like a regular person.
He does dresses real nice and look like he takes showers. So you have that.
But it's even more so the presence. I mean, I get it. These are two different Bruce Waynes in two different like parts of their career.
Yeah, times of their life, I guess.
But it's still just like there is still a form of at least like this awareness that I feel like Bruce Wayne.
He's not a husk.
Husk or not, you could be a husk and still entertaining in theater, in the movies.
Theater.
Like I'm like in theater. But so I'm not sure. But that could have been like I agree with NERDSoul here said. I think that's not necessarily against Robert Pattinson as much as like the style choices they made, how they kind of. I mean, you know, he obviously was directed to go on there and look like, you know, South Park emo kid. Like they told him to do that. So I can't knock him for doing his job. So
all right. With that said,
glad you brought the hair props to be able to do that.
With that said, we've been spitting that fire for a minute. I'm gonna throw it to Ninja first. Who's your MVP of this movie and why?
I agree with you. Earlier you said it. I think Catwoman, Selena Kyle, Zoe Kravitz. I think her character had the most consistency as far as like a trajectory of character development. The scenes tend to be more interesting when she was on screen. She got to do some action, some choreo that looked pretty good in the grand scheme of things. But she also had some interesting dialogue, facial expressions, and things like that we got to see with her mom, her dad, all that stuff. So I do think she was a saving grace as far as the casting goes. So I'm gonna go with her.
All right, Mark Dub, MVP. Wow.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm going with Zoe, Catwoman. She was fine.
She was
fierce.
She was.
She was smart.
She was.
She was everything I dreamed she would be.
Where is going now?
She was the MVP.
We can definitely talk to the chemistry, right? I do think that there was a good chemistry between the Bat and the Cat. I think that they vibed. I think they were vibing. I think that they could have incorporated it a little bit more because it went from like a little bit of sexual tension to we kissing now. Like there was kind of some little bit of conversations, a little bit more tension that could have been built up in a 3-hour movie. But I still think that their chemistry was good, and I think that was the right choice.
All right, cool. And Mr. Cooper.
I'm gonna break the cycle here.
A
little bit. Yeah, man, I gotta go weird, man. Like it's called Batman for a reason. But I'm gonna split it. Robert Pattinson and the score. I love the hell out the score. Because I feel like the music, I know but for me, the way it worked with his movements, the way it raised the tension, it kept me, interested during this 3-hour movie that just, it felt like theater or whatever. And it
there were parts where it was real dark and I didn't feel very hopeful.
Yeah, he said I didn't feel very hopeful.
And I was like, dang, is Batman gonna be okay? Like, I know he got like some real cool body armor and stuff, but this music does not sound like he's gonna make it out of this. Okay.
Yeah, the music sound like he hasn't got to that mythical, naive, unbeatable level. Like this is definitely year 2 Batman, and just a good nod to the Riddler, because God,
because he was like, there's mad people. It was like there's mad people below here. Why don't I just bust out all the windows and possibly like kill, cut, slash everybody below instead of just making like a little baby hole and going through that? You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. It's a dope entry, but in real life, you possibly killed another like 6 to 10 people messing around with that. People have been killed by panes of glass before.
This man, something that Sherry had said earlier. Just that I know you had wanted him. He was a little inaudible in the mask. He was, but he had some of the best scenes when he flipped out. And I don't know what's creepier, when he was flipping out against the DA or when he came on, hey guys. And then when his little pale, plain, mushy face, I was like, this guy, like, look at him. But he looks sick. Because he looks too happy.
He looks like a full-grown 6-year-old.
Yes. I was wrong.
A full-grown 6-year-old named Lucas.
Like not Lucas. Oh, not Lucas.
From the foot with Charlie Sheen.
Yes, Lucas. Oh man, not Lucas.
With the
Lucas, that was a sad case,
I'm never
boy.
gonna be able to look at Lucas again.
I'll never be able to look at Paul Dano again.
All right. Now shouts to Keith and Jones. Says, what did you guys think of that car chase scene? One of the best on film. Now, on the flip side, let's go back to Catwoman real quick when that money was sitting there. Boy, please, I know you came for money. I ain't trying to hear this. I'm owed this. Look, and I'm gonna keep it real. I would have swerved that bike around again and kicked that dude in the head and took both bags. All right? Look, because one bag had the dead body and one bag had money. Sorry, never mind. Yeah. So she
got the money. She was saying,
man, I owed this. Man, you better take that money. Get that dough.
He's my father.
He owed that money.
Yeah. And why can't I stop crime and get some money? Like Blade said, this ain't the March of Dimes.
And when she said he my father, Batman was like, oh, okay, my bad.
He's like, oh, word.
My mistake.
Look, Batman can't be like, yeah, I am one of you people too. No, you rich, father.
But I said that at the funeral. I was like, Falcone, your daddy. I was like, I knew when they turned the girl around, I was like, that's a swerve. It's her daddy. I was like, we already know that. You know what I'm saying? But
that's why they use John Turturro, because they know he one of them cats. His ethnicity all over the place.
Yeah,
he done played.
John Turturro. His ethnicity is what they wanted to be.
He is the darkest white man.
So Ninja, do you agree with the car chase scene being one of the best on film?
Oh yeah. Well,
first of all, he said ninja, but it's cool.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm poking fun at you, man. You're good. This one I will concede in the sense that I need to rewatch it because from what I remember just feeling dark and growly. So when I kind of walked out and I was like this wide ass Batmobile, this dark and growly. Like I remember some explosions and like when he's like walking up and the camera's off a little, like that part was dope and all that. But like the middle part, I can't really remember. That's not to mean that in this case it was bad. I'm just going to concede to the fact that I probably should rewatch it before I actually just straight up, say one way or the other.
I know. I will say this. It was crazy. It was definitely crazy. But once again, Hollywood, I got to ding you. I assume those trucks. I assume those trucks were just made out of petroleum. Like the second they touched each other, it was a boosh.
They were gelatin
Hollywood
gelatin petroleum. They was ignited. Yeah, they was super ignitable, boy.
But
it was like,
with that said,
just nitroglycerin everywhere.
Bruh, imagine how many people got killed in that joint. And now I will say this: shouts to Keithan. Keithan, when I was watching it, I was like, this is crazy. Like, because when you said it in the real world, you start thinking like, yo, dude, like 30 people died right now. Like 30,
yeah.
30 people that let's say every car only had one person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe only 5 to 10 people died. But if you got, one trucker is riding teams with 2 people in the truck, you got a family of 4 in the car, then this one got 2 people. Like, bruh, mad people died. I was like, this is crazy. And then of course the back, of course the of course the transfer truck or I can't remember the the tow truck or whatever lands perfectly to be a ramp, but
that was,
when he came through the fire though,
convenient, boy.
To see Penguin's face, it was worth it. I was like, he did a good old crap face. He did. Cause he was like, I got you, we wildin', and then he was like, he was like Gotham City for life. Then he was like,
we need to make a gif of Mike doing the wildin' and holding the wheel. Yes. We need to make a gif of that. We definitely, bro.
Oh man, so like it's it's one of those things where like, hey, even I was watching, I was like, this is crazy. Like, just imagine watching the news. You in Gotham City, you made it home from work without getting beat up, luckily, and you turn on the news. You turn on the news and you're like, yo, why is there like a nuclear level explosion on the I don't know, on 95 or something like that, or whatever highway goes through your city? You're like, yo, I guess I can't take that way to work tomorrow. Like,
that might be the thing that be like, we gotta get the hell out of here. Like, this is too much. Like, that's it. No, pack it up.
Hey, bro, you could absolutely call in every day in Gotham, and your boss would have to believe whatever you told him happened.
Yeah, you'd be like, yo, man, remember that car crash that crazy scene last night? You always in there.
That's so common. They won't excuse you. They would be like, the 7-Eleven exploded. You were supposed to be in 15 minutes ago.
Because your boss is corrupt, is owe somebody money that's corrupt, and if you don't come do the job, they're gonna have to kill him and you.
So you be like, yo, man, I can't make it in today. Why? All you gotta do is take your pick. Joker, Killer Croc, the Riddler. They be like, whatever, Penguin. They be like, oh, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Just work from home.
They gonna tell you to come in. They gonna tell you to clock in.
The clock key can make all the lights turn red.
It's a Tuesday morning for these guys. You got to understand, Gotham is still it's functioning poorly, but it's still functioning. So they're still
barely.
Yeah. So similar since Gotham
city go round.
Killer Croc bit me on the ass on the train this morning. There's
like Clayface stole my identity.
Ass missing. And
your shift started 30 minutes ago.
They be like, look, this call center guys keep taking calls.
I don't know where the rest of your ass is, but I know what's left of it better be here in the next 25
They're gonna hit you with you are an essential worker. And,
so
I'm gonna need you to come clock in.
You at work and you hear some rumbling and you just realize that you in the high rise, you on like the 10th floor. Oh, a car just went airborne and crashed through the 3rd floor. Like it's just regular. It's Wednesday. It's like, it's Gotham. This is what happens.
I'm still pouring my coffee. I mean, yeah.
It's like, oh man, it's crazy.
Not my car. Okay.
So, all right. Lastly, I'll say MVP. I've said this before. Catwoman shines in this. Her character arc is dope. She brings pretty much all of the emotion in this. Zoe Kravitz does a lot of heavy lifting for this. For Robert Pattinson to essentially be RoboCop / Terminator in this, she has to hold all of the emotional weight. We're scared for her when she goes in that club with no gun, no knife, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Asking mad questions. And even old girl says, like, you don't ask no questions. When she even started asking questions, she was like, I don't know nothing about that. Let's keep partying. Like, so we're scared for her in that. We're scared for her when the DA follows her outside because we're like, yo, is she going to get caught up with whatever the Riddler doing? Then we root for her when we're like, yo, we know there ain't this whole no killing thing, but yo, I wanted to catch that homie Falcone slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she does a lot of heavy lifting in this. I got to give it to her, man. When they casted her, I was like, you know what? I think this might work. But I don't know if she has like the whole kind of like, I guess, je ne sais quoi thing about, because I mean, yes, she's pretty, but can she kind of do the Catwoman kind of like sexy, but also dangerous, but also like emotional. You know, like can she do that and do it well? And
she murdered it.
She crushed it. She crushed it. I give it to you.
There was a scene where she had on one of her mini wigs. I think it was the pink one or whatever. And I think she's waiting for someone to come in. And the way she cuts her eyes at them is so flawless because it's like kind of sensual, but you also notice she's kind of nervous, but you can tell that she's gathered in just that one cut. And I was like, you know what, girl, go off.
Oh, I was like, so Tyler Bennett comes in and says strong women. Let me make a point about this. Hollywood. You see how Catwoman was cool. She was a dope character. She was a strong woman. But this movie never felt like they were patting themselves on the back for having a strong woman. They didn't have to be like, hey guys, hold on real quick. Do you see that she's strong? Like, they didn't have to do that. They just let her be dope. Like, in the movie Aliens, you know what I'm saying? Sigourney Weaver doesn't have to be like, hey guys, by the way, I'm a strong woman. No, she just does dope stuff and we're like, yo, she dope. Like, in Terminator 2, you know what I'm saying? You see Sarah Connor come through. Oh, do we say that, hey guys, she's a strong woman? No, she's just dope. Just let women be dope. They'll be dope if you just let them be dope. You don't have to stop and be like, hey guys, I don't know if you knew, but women are strong. And women can do strong things.
Jim. Sarah and Jim will be great friends at the firing range.
So yeah, I like her a lot. Way more than I thought I would. And this is a movie where I can't remember his name right, but the actor for Jim Gordon. This is a movie where Jeffrey Wright. He got skills. And well, due to the amount of scenes and due to the kind of the direction, homie, in my opinion, he doesn't get a chance to really bring it like your girl Zoe does. Shouts to Zoe on this. Much love. I have no qualms about her role. But in general, all the actors, I felt like they came to play. So with that said, I'm gonna throw it to, let's say, I'm gonna throw it to Keith first. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to Keith first. Final thoughts and where they can find you.
Okay, final thoughts. I know we didn't go to many Nick picks. I'm gonna just throw out my first Nick pick real quick. Realist stuff. I mean, well, not realist stuff. Joker stuff. I didn't give a damn about that scene. And that's the part that I just didn't give a ish about. Like, I don't care. I had enough. As much as some people may have enough of Batman, I had more than enough of the Joker fanboys. I don't care. Like, I know they're gonna say it for the TV show. Don't put them in the movies no time soon. You got too many roles to pull from. Final thoughts. It is definitely a 9 for me out of 10. That Joker scene kind of ruined close to masterpiece, but and it went on a little long for parts and maybe just some trauma from the flood part. But I do like how it ended. I do like how you can see, I see some progression that Batman feels like he finally gets that, I need to be a human. I need to be hope. So I kind of do get that. So, we'll get more of that in the future. Hopefully they don't go too far. I kind of like messed up Batman. I like messed up Bruce Wayne. Let him be effed up for a good bit. Because he should be. Just because. But ultimately, you can find me at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerdish.com. Blerdish on Instagram. We have a Facebook page. I'm Keith Cooper on Facebook. Follow us. Got cons coming up and different things.
And also, guys, do not forget, at the top of the show, first Patreon supporter to answer that question will get a pack of comics from Blerdish. I got it. Don't worry. I'm going to send them to you. And y'all going to get that Blerd Domination. Look at that. Blerd Domination. It's going to be for you.
Sale starts tomorrow. March sale starts tomorrow. Wearing one of the shirts I got on the Kid Goku shirt. Different things. And shout out to Ninja who designed
our latest shirt, Blerdish shirt. She did a wonderful job on it. Shout out to Mike getting one for you.
Oh man, the sound is going out. The sound is going out.
You're starting to sound like you're in a fishbowl again. I don't know what happened.
Just jump out, jump back in. Then on to the one and only, the Batwoman shirt wearing Ninja Summer Cosplay. Final thoughts. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so without hashing or opening up a can of worms, I did find the movie to be just okay. In the grand scheme of many a action movie, many a comic book movie, so on and so forth. I think there are some fundamental objective check marks that should be checked off when making a good movie. It kind of just missed a few for me. I will die on this hill. I thought the score was actually trash. The actors were good for what they needed to do. Some of the writing left some to be desired. The runtime, I don't mind a long movie if it's able to have the ebbs and flows that are needed to keep people engaged. I felt like they did not do that. I felt like if they tightened up the runtime, it would have been a more enjoyable movie in this case. But I digress because we talked about a lot of this already, and I'm more than welcome to take this conversation offline in any capacity. But that being said, my score, and I kind of went up from my initial watch. I've kind of thought about it and gone back and forth. I'm actually up to an astounding 6 out of 10. We made it, folks.
All right, word up.
All right.
So it's slightly above average. It's slightly above average.
It is. I mean, like I said, I started really kind of looking at the pros and stuff like that. For me, though, however, a 6 out of 10 is not a movie I'm excited to rewatch and not a movie I plan to rewatch. I will rewatch this for the sake of so many people just atting me and giving it another try, considering that I did start to doze off at one point, which is not a good sign, but I will give another go when it goes on HBO Max next month. So that's just where I'm at. You can find me at The Ninja Cosplay, wherever fine books are sold. Not really. I'm not like these guys. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Word
out. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I'm not mad at your choices. We hear ish.
We respect the choice.
Mike Dub, final thoughts.
I am mad at your choices. I God dang it! I am the biggest Batman. I am not the biggest Batman fan. There are people worse than me, and that says a lot. I thought the soundtrack was marvelous. I absolutely disagree with you. And this is rare. That's okay.
Absolutely
I still love my friend and her very wrong opinions. I am also very, very biased. So yeah, take all of what I say as a grain of salt. I like uber violent, slightly bent, like slightly more psychotic Batman. Give me more of this guy. I like disturbed, doughy face, soft Paul Dano. He looks like a grown-up Lucas. It's sad.
You have ruined Lucas for me. I'll never think of Lucas.
My coworker, she told me she loved the movie. Shout out to Casey. She said they took the absolute beautiful man that Colin Farrell is and made him unrecognizable, and she loved him for it. And he was a great Penguin. Like, hey man, everybody came to work. Jim Gordon.
You don't know Spanish?
I have a question. Oh, I see. This is why the final thoughts. We say new stuff at final thoughts. I am sorry to interrupt, but please be quick in this answer. Without, let's say you do not know the context of who's supposed to be related to who, right? Do you think the Penguin could have been any other henchman in this movie?
Any other henchman?
Not knowing. Like, oh, the Penguin does this, or he's related to this person. Could that have been just any other bad guy trying to rise into power?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I thought that he Kind of
He
missed the mark
looked
for me.
deformed. He looked like a.
Yeah.
I mean, he can
like
look however the
very
hell he
unattractive-
can look however he looks though. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying
I get what you're saying. Like he's just
he could have.
a ugly mobster. You're ugly mobster.
He was like a white 50 Cent. Like,
God dang. I love your level of petty sometimes.
Continue on with your final thoughts. My apologies. Go ahead.
hey,
On that note.
I'm super petty, man. Y'all know this. Y'all know this about Dub. If you don't,
He is a villain sometimes.
but yeah, my MVP, of course, was Zoe.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Hey,
For all the
man,
wrong
I
reasons.
wanted to interject real quick.
She did a thing. Man.
Mark, I gotta do this for you. When Zoe came on the screen, I was sitting down like this. What did I do? I said, I'm awake now.
He said,
Oh yeah.
Look, he absolutely said those words as he sat up.
I said,
He rose like Dracula out of the coffin when like
if it was
dusk is
Dragon,
coming.
it's
He's
awake.
like,
I'm awake now.
I am awake now.
Rose. I have arisen.
oh
Yes.
boy. This,
Yeah,
I believe that alone.
Zoe was marvelous. You're absolutely right. She carried a whole lot of the emotional weight because Robert Pattinson, he had like that Michael Ealy hanging jaw. After Michael Ealy says something, he never like closes his mouth. He's like, I think you're beautiful.
Watch out, on Viv. Watch out.
yo, I'm Viv. Don't fall for the games, man.
We got episode
Oh,
6 coming up in our
Oh,
review.
oh.
Yo, Lisa, what you say whenever he looking over his glass at you is a problem? When a dude be looking over his glass at you like,
I need
Watch
Yamaka
out.
to knock him out.
watch out.
Knock him out, Yamaka. Sorry.
Yeah.
Y'all
All right,
probably
so
put them hands on Michael Ealy. Michael Ealy is a psycho, though. I've seen him. Like that's Michael Ealy could play Joker. That would be great. Focus. But yes, back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. I thought the movie was great. 9 out of 10 for me. It's not perfection. It's almost it's just like me. It's not perfection, but it's so close. It's hard to miss it. I mean, you look at it, it's like, damn.
Wow.
Oh, wait. No, almost. There it is.
I'm suffocating.
Anyway, my final thoughts. Don't,
Oh, and where I can be
Draw a
found.
question mark on his face because he is a riddle in himself. Let it go.
I am an enigma. Wrapped up. Anyway, I'm Mark Wallace on them Facebook streets. I'm Mark Dub on Instagram. Look for the cute Mark Dub, and then pick the guy right underneath him. That was me. And I am Mark Dub 44 on Twitter.
Oh,
I gotta put that out there because I'm
he's
on
the
Twitter.
44th marked up.
It's a whole lot of 44s, but ain't but one 44 like this one.
Listen to our podcast, and you'll know when 44 come up. You know what it
Anyway,
means.
all
I'll
right,
make
so
sure to say it next time.
let's see. Final thoughts. I'm actually in line, sorta, with Ninja, but for other reasons. I thought this movie came off as very intense. I think the rating probably held it back a little bit. I do think it was a little long, but I was engaged because one thing a movie needs to do is take me away from my day-to-day. I didn't daydream. I didn't think about bills I needed to pay. I didn't think about folding clothes or any errands I needed to run. I was locked in. It was long, but I think it was well put together, and it seemed like all of the actors did their assignment. That being said, for a different reason, I'm not giving this a 9 out of 10. I think I'm just tired of Batman, yo. Like, I feel like there's other characters DC can be putting this type of energy into. We have seen Batman a bajillion times, and not to say that this was a bad Batman. It's just that kind of like, hey, you know, we've been getting this Batman
I'll
for
say
a
this.
long time.
As a DC Batman, as a super DC fan, like they had to get a Batman movie right. The last one left.
But they did.
The last Batman kind of left a bad taste in the mouth. Like Batman Superman joint. They he's their flagship character. They wanted him to go out on top. They wanted to give him a good movie. They did.
But he's already had good movies. Like,
I mean, look, and I'm cool. I'm cool on it now. Like, I'm ready for Flash. I'm ready for Black Adam.
Like, I want to see. That trailer that they put out for like Black Adam and the Flash. Even though I'm not really big on the Ezra. Is it Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller.
I'm not super big on him in the way he portrays the Flash, but that's the decision they decided to go. So whatever. But Black Adam, I want to see something new. I'm ready to see something new now. It's kind of like my issue with Star Trek Discovery, i.e. going towards new places, as opposed to Star Trek Picard, which seems to be caught up in member berries. It's like, I'm just like, I want to see something new. I would have loved to see this energy based on Jon Stewart Green Lantern. I would like to see this energy based on, I don't know, one of the other Flashes. I would like to see this energy on maybe, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing this energy on a movie from the perspective of Darkseid. Like just this energy on something different. So, give me something different. Show me something different and new. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, you say you don't want Darkseid until you see a well-produced, top quality Darkseid. All we've seen is doo-doo pancakes from this. That's all we've seen. Yep. They don't never put top teams on anybody but Batman. So if they put top teams on a Mr. Terrific movie, then you'd be like, oh snap, I didn't know how dope Mr. Terrific was. Why? Because they never put dope teams on them. They got the static book coming out. Shouts to Nick doing the art for it. Maybe if we put a dope team on that. There's tons of people out there. Tons of characters.
I agree.
Jessica Cruz.
I agree.
Is another character. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of Batman. So
I think Batman is so known to this point. It's all he does better when he's in conjunction, in association with someone else. That's what makes him shine.
I'm gonna stick this. I'm gonna stick this right around a 7.5.
So you got
I don't hate it.
6 and 7.
I don't hate it. I probably will watch it again, but not like immediately. I just need some time from Batman. I'm just tired of. How many animated series? How many movies? Come on, man. Y'all got other characters.
Two and a possible.
Come on, man. Y'all got more characters. Y'all got other Earths. Y'all just do something new. Do something different.
We had to get
this is why y'all fail. This is why y'all fail.
Right first. They failed because they tried to mimic what Marvel did in two movies. Instead of trying to space it out over
they made a Superman, then it was like, guess what? We're going to Superman Batman.
Made no sense. But
Superman, Batman, and all the Justice League and Batman versus Superman, it
took only 20, 30 years for them to do this in animation, and they just did it. 2 movies.
I just think that you have Shazam, you have the first Wonder Woman movie, you have these movies where they're popular or maybe not known as much, and I think that's kind of what's kind of the golden ticket right now for DC for me, because everybody has their preconceived notions on Batman and what this is supposed to be, what this is, and so everybody's got these filters, whatever. And it is a little played. It just is. Good or not, depending on what your favorite Batman movie is. It is, I agree. It has been done a lot, and it's kind of hard to kind of reinvent the wheel in different ways over and over again. So I'm interested to see how they expand on this in the sequel, what they're really going to kind of go from here. But I do agree that it's kind of oversaturated with Batman. It's oversaturated with other characters too, but in this particular case.
Because even I was feeling that way about Spider-Man as well. Because Spider-Man, kind of right behind him with the animated series and movies and stuff. But I will say this, Spider-Man seemed to be a tighter frame, and they had a couple member berries to throw in there. So it hit me a little different. So I scored it a little bit higher. But with this, And also, like I said, Spider-Man is a hero that I would actually want to hang out with. Like, you know, like when you look at it, Wolverine is cool. If you were a hero, you wouldn't want to kick it with Wolverine. Like, in real life,
he like to fight you.
In real life, you'd be like, dude, like, relax. Like, we're just going to get some food. Like, you don't have to kill the cashier.
Stop hitting on my chick. Put your claws away.
Yeah, put your claws away, man. So, with that said, guys, thank you for coming through. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. We got a podcast. Hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, do all them things. All right? Help a brother out in the algorithm. Also, before we get out of here, you see those links that I put in the chat. You see the links in the description. Follow these people, like their stuff, share their stuff. We got black comics and a whole bunch of dope beats coming to take y'all out. Don't forget to pick up y'all black comics from Blerdish.com. That's BLERD-ISH.com. All right, so
black comics, and I'm a third-party affiliate for the mainstream comics too. So.
You know what I'm saying? No, so don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Don't be a real sheeple out here. Read something.
Read. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq said, read.
Read.
So for us to you, thank you for watching and peace. We out.
You got to know that if you keep dwelling in the past, you will remain in the past. Can I get a fucking yeah?
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, in which for security reasons